Hey gang, it's Bryan from FXBilliards. Today we're going to talk about pocket hangers. When should we shoot our pocket hanger and when should we leave it alone? Here we have a situation where the 14 is sitting in the pocket. The easiest shot doesn't make it the next shot on the table. I'm shooting the 9 ball first, and I'll tell you why. I'm not perfect. I got a very easy layout down there, but if I shoot the 14 right now, I'm going to have to draw back. I can get probably somewhere in the middle of the table where I have a decent pattern here, but look at the pattern that we have on those striped balls. I'm going to shoot it like this, and I'll tell you why in a second. So we're going to shoot a stop shot on the 9, because this is almost straight in. Now we have our choice. Do we want to play 12-13 or 13-12, or do we want to play the 14 yet? I don't need the 14 yet. So let's take a look at this one. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to stun it off of the rail and get on the 12 ball. Do I want to shoot this 14? Hey, Brian, you got to get that 14 off the table. What are you doing? The 12 looked like a great key ball. Well, what happens if I come down table like this and get right here on this 14 ball? Now what happens? I have an exceptional key ball. It just happens to be all the way down table. Now, this doesn't make it the best pattern for you in every situation. It doesn't mean leave your pocket hanger as your key ball, especially when it's at the opposite end of the table. But you need to be able to look at the layout and say, do I need to shoot this now, or should I save it as an insurance shot? What is an insurance shot? The insurance shot is if I don't get position on those first 3, let's say I screwed it up and I got tied up with that 3 ball. Now I have this ball here in the bank that I can come down and shoot anytime I want because I didn't have another shot. Yes, I shot it out perfectly. Everything moved right, nice and smooth. But you know what? I'm not a robot, and I could very easily have messed that up. So what happens if I mess it up? Bam! I've got this 14 ball. Now, why did I make such a big deal about I was going to put the cue ball on the rail? That's your second tip today. These shots are best left on the rail. You have to get position on these pocket hangers, and the best position for them is with the cue ball on the short rail or on the long rail. Why? Let's take a look. Our 8 ball is all the way down table. It's against the short rail. It's in one of the worst positions it could be in. I shoot this with high right. I'm going to avoid scratching down at the other end of the table. We'll put the cue ball just about there. And now we have a straight in shot on the 8. And if you're worried about scratching, by the way, look at all this area here where you could stop that cue ball. I knew where it was going, but if you have any doubts about it, all you have to do is stop it early. This is going to be a very simple example of something that is going to help you out in a lot of different situations. Remember the first shot? And I put the ball so expertly right there to get on the ball here so we could get up table. Let's talk about that again because this concept is very important. If my run out is 5-7-4, which is what it should be, by the way, because 5-4-7 will work, and there's a lot of advanced players that'll do it just out of laziness, but your run is 5-7-4-8 for the highest probability run out, as long as you've got this one shot in your game. We play the 5 ball and we bring the cue ball back here. Now that our cue ball is where? On the rail. We talked about this. We want it on the rail, and be careful because if you're right-handed, which I am, you've put it in a position where you might need to reach all the way down table, but you can get position on this 4, even if you have to reach. We're going to run left-hand English, come off of that rail, and do the best thing you can do for position and pull. Move in line with the shot. Looks like this. Now we're moving in line with the 4 ball. And those of you that don't know what I mean by moving in line, my position is coming towards the ball that I want to play as opposed to going across the ball that I want to play. Why is this so important for those of you that don't know? Let's say I really underhit it and I left my cue ball here. I am about 6 feet on this table from that ball. But everything from here to here, I'm going to win. How many times have you seen this on league night? APA Freddie has stripes. And Freddie thinks he owns this pocket. Why? Because these solid balls can't go anywhere. Freddie's also seen my video, but he's misinterpreted it. So he thinks that's my insurance shot. And what does Freddie do? He's got the pocket blocked. There's 2 balls here. He shoots the 11 ball. He's not terrible. He gets decent position on what? The 13? He should have gotten on the 15, but he got on the 13 because he is Freddie. And now, all bets are off. He's not even sure how he's going to get on the 15. I'm sure, so let me shoot it. Now Freddie's on the 15. I put him there because Freddie wasn't going to get there. And now, this ball that he left on the table as his insurance shot, Freddie can't get to it. I can get to it. I'll play this with high right. Come off, and I can barely see it. I had a zone the size of my hand that I had to get into to be able to take a shot at this 12. Freddie's run is over. His run is over on that first shot where you had to get on the 15 because he doesn't have a 12-inch draw shot. That's okay. Freddie's a 4. He's been a 4 all his life. He's never had a practice session in 15 years. Run 2 ended because he couldn't play that with high right. That's okay. Most players don't have an inside English game at all. Most intermediate players, even high intermediate players, aren't shooting a lot of shots with inside English. So he doesn't get position on the 12 that way. The bottom line of the story, though, is Freddie does not own this pocket. Freddie is a slave to this pocket because this ball has to go in the pocket. And now, even though we are on the 12 ball, how do we get to from the 12 to the 8? So there's times when, yes, it's an insurance shot, and there's times when, oh, I own that pocket. You don't own any pockets. I'm going to show you why in a minute, but you don't own a pocket just because you're blocking these balls. The opponent, Freddie's opponent, is as much in control of this situation as Freddie is. Because if I was Freddie's opponent and he couldn't get to this 12 ball, and now it's my shot, or he misses that 15 trying to get position on it, and now it's my shot, what do? I play the 3 into his 12, leave the cue ball here, and I'm going to get ball in hand. So don't think that blocking a pocket makes sense. I've told you guys on no less than a dozen videos, stop blocking pockets when it doesn't make sense. When doesn't it make sense? When you're not going to be able to get to your ball. This exact scenario occurred as I was talking about it, I'm sure, but it occurred in an APA game just last week because a student of mine told me about it. His 5 did not run out because he refused to shoot this ball that was blocking somebody else in. So let's see if Freddie, with my help, could possibly get out from here. I've got to just barely hit this, maybe with a little bit of right to avoid those other balls. And now it's spray and pray for Freddie. It's good for me. I'm going to play it right there. But Freddie's not getting this position. So it's okay. There are a lot of Freddies out there. It's okay to be Freddie. You're still learning the game. But don't let yourself fall into these intermediate player traps. And that's an intermediate player trap. Have a great day, guys. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. That is very important to us. And hit us in the comments. Let us know what you think. And I'll talk to you soon.